What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 161 Report podcast. I'm back with my co-host, Bobby. And in this episode, we got a special guest, Sam Luckini with Fireside Yankees. How you going, man?
I'm incredible. It's great to be here talking to you guys today. I'm excited to talk about the Yankees. I talk about the Yankees all day, but I couldn't get enough of them. I had to hop on this podcast and come talk with you guys because, I love them so much. But it's great to be here with you guys, man. I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Let's do it, especially after their game today. Nice little loss to the Rays. But hey, I think it's a good strategy. They're saving their runs for the regular season.
It was a good thing that it wasn't televised today. I think that it was good for all of us that none of us had to witness that 12-0 defeat. But at this point, I would like to thank the Rays for being broke and not having, television available for that game. Because I don't want to watch it. I'm sure that you guys will want to watch it. So I'm all right with missing today. I'm good.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's spring training. They're getting those losses out of the way for the regular season. But that's cool. I'm fine with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so obviously talking about spring training here, we've had some guys, man, really make an impact. I'm excited. I love what I've been seeing out of Jasson Dominguez. That kid is a stud, and he just continues to prove it. Anthony Volpe looks amazing. Gleyber Torres, he started off really hot, obviously small sample size, but these guys are getting some good ABs in, playing good fielding. It's what you love to see. I'm kind of curious of what you guys, how you feel about spring training so far.
Yeah, Bobby, I'll let you lead off. Go ahead.
We've talked about it before, but it's so cool to see Dominguez finally play. We've heard, it seems like he's been around forever, hearing the name, but seeing him actually perform well with the big guys in spring training, it's really cool to see him finally here and taking that step closer to the majors eventually, not this year probably, but him, Volpe, obviously competing for that spot. All these big names that we've been hearing about the past couple of years, these kids are exciting, and it's just so much fun to watch them actually playing instead of constantly hearing about when are they coming up. It's cool to see them succeed.
Yeah, it's kind of all coming to fruition. Obviously, we're looking at two really key position battles as far as, what the Yankees are going to look for as far as coming into 2023. We're looking at left field and we're looking at the middle infield. What the hell are they going to do, right? Obviously with the Gleyber Torres thing, Kyle, like you mentioned, they've floated his name out there in trade talks for the past 2 years. We don't know what's going to happen with that guy. They were talking about trading for a starter and yada, yada, yada. I don't think he should go, personally. I think that he needs to stay on this roster. I think that he's one of the top, 3 or 4 bats on this roster for a team that couldn't hit in the playoffs whatsoever. And at this point now, you have the young budding prospects of Volpe and Peraza up the middle. Who the hell knows what's going to shake out at third base, because we don't know if Donaldson's going to, be able to bounce back this year, if it's going to be LeMahieu's position to win over there at third base. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens between all of those infield spots. Really, the only one that I truly think is safe is at first base with Anthony Rizzo, because realistically, that's the one guy that you can really pencil in automatically. But right now, you don't know how those other 3 spots are going to end up filling out. Volpe's been incredibly impressive. He went 2 for 4 on Sunday. Obviously, he was not great last night with the bat, but he was great at second base last night defensively, which was really good to see. We didn't get to see Peraza today, so I'm not even really sure how he was, but we did see him down the stretch. Obviously, we saw Cabrera the other night as well. He's been incredible, and he was great on the back half as well. And then with Dominguez, like you mentioned, this is a 20-year-old who at this point looks like he could be big league ready. And I don't think that they should jump the gun on Dominguez immediately and think that he, should have that berth for at this point, the left field role, because really he could slot right in. But I think that they will probably groom him and give him some time to grow, because his ABs right now look incredible. He's stripping the home run in the first game I thought was incredible as well. And then 2 other guys that I kind of just want to dabble in here when we're talking about left field. Willie Calhoun has impressed with the bat so far. He's looked great with the bat so far. And then Ortega is another guy that's probably going to compete. Florial, I do think will end up falling off of the cliff, and we've been holding him to this high standard for so long. I just think that he's out of options. I just think they're finally going to end up DFAing Florial, and we're just going to call it a day with that. But yeah, really, guys, what we're looking at here is we're looking at the infielders and we're looking at that left field spot. We've seen a lot of really encouraging things so far.
I'm so glad that you said that you want to keep Glaber, because we had this conversation last week or a couple weeks ago, I don't remember, but about all these people either wanting to see Glaber go. Me and Kyle were both saying we don't want to see Glaber go. He's such an important piece to this team. We don't understand. Of course, he's valuable. I guess he could get a big return, but I'm glad to hear that you agree with us in saying that you don't want to see Glaber go as well.
Yeah, I just don't think that, for a team that struggled as much as they did to the plate in the playoffs, I just don't think that you trade a bat like Glaber. And mind you, I was a person that 2 years ago was off the Glaber train. I said, trade him. I like, let's get rid of him, because he was at shortstop and he sucked. He was terrible. Moved back to second base. He was a top 3 defensive second baseman in baseball over there and hit with the best of them. Outside of a bad August, he was an incredible bat throughout the entirety of last season. And for an offense that struggled, you just don't trade a guy like Gleyber Torres. You don't do it. It would not make any sense at all.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you put that perfectly. It's exactly what we got into. Obviously, we're getting a little heated about that when we were debating that. Because I mean, I've stood by Gleyber. I mean, all last season, I stood by him, and he really impressed me after moving back to second base. It was great to see out of him. And he's a huge part of this team. I mean, after you have the guys like Rizzo and Judge, Stan, you can even put up there. Gleyber does come in next. And if you do decide to trade him, are you going to get close to the value that he provides at that second base role in the return? I just don't see that.
No. The only thing would be to free up that spot for probably Volpe or like that would be the only reason why that they would trade him.
I think that's really the only reason why you would do it. But second base is such a thin position that I don't think you're going to get a replication of even that type of production. You're going to take a 115 WRC plus with a top 3 defensive second baseman in baseball 10 times out of 10. Like the reaction from the fan base that I get sometimes for the Gleyber Torres hate, I just will never understand. And I get it. They want to free up the spots for the kids. But right now, I don't see a world where it makes sense. I personally think that they should go, Alex Anthopoulos on him and like just get him on like a cheaper extension, like get him on like a 5-6 year extension that's super team friendly. And if you want to deal him, then like down the line eventually, then sure, it's a team friendly contract that you can flip into something that's more valuable. But at this point, this is a player that's entering his final year of arbitration, and he's still one of the better second basemen in baseball. It just wouldn't make any sense, guys. It flat out does not make any sense.
No. Yeah. I'm so glad you agree with us. That makes me very happy.
Good.
We've also, touched on it a little bit. Do you think the Yankees make another move before the opening day? Trade of some sort?
So that's a good question. I don't think so. I thought that the one move that they could have probably pursued was Jurickson Profar, just because we're just really not sure what's going on in left field. And as far as free agents that are, free agent bats that are still in the market, that's really the one guy that's still out there. At this point, I think with Gavin Lux going down out in LA, I think that's like, picture perfect move for them. I think because he can fill, so many infield and outfield spots. I think they're going to get him on, I think he was asking for like $6 million a year. The Dodgers will give him $6 million a year. I don't think that's going to be a problem, for like a 1-year deal for them. But at this point, no. And it's I don't want to say it's disappointing, because I think that I like what we have with this roster. I think they should play the kids, and I think they should roll them out there this year and just really just give it another crack at it. Because at this point, with bringing the young bodies up, you're going to have Peraza and Cabrera, and hopefully you have Volpe, and, fingers crossed, maybe we get a little bit of Dominguez in here. I'd be really excited if we got that. But I think if you inject some of that young blood, some of the youth into this lineup this year, I think it's going to make a world of a difference. And that's really why I just don't think they're going to make another move.
That's fair. So if you think that Peraza and Volpe, do you think that they both make the opening day roster? Because I don't know how that happens.
No.
Yeah.
No. But so here's the caveat that I have to that. So to your previous question.
Right.
So the one move that I would like to see them make, and honestly that I think that they could make, would be to trade IKF.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the easy flip. He's on $6 million a year. And granted, we hate IKF, right? Like, don't get me wrong, we hate IKF, but
Yeah.
IKF has value as a base runner. IKF has value as a contact hitter. Teams could use IKF, and I think that if you would make an easy flip for minor leaguers for IKF, I think that opens up that log jam that you kind of see right now with these infielders. And realistically, at that point, I think that both of them would make the opening day roster. But if IKF stays on this roster, and even Gleyber Torres, if they don't trade Gleyber Torres, which we just discussed, we don't want that to happen. But if IKF would go, I think it would free up that spot for Volpe to then make the opening day roster. I think Peraza for sure is the lock. I think he for sure 1,000% will be on the opening day roster, and I think the Volpe is still going to continue to impress. But I think that if they deal IKF and it wouldn't be something substantial, maybe even a reliever, is like something that we would look for. But I think that that's really the only way that they both make the opening day roster is if that logjam gets, freed up essentially.
Yeah. Kyle, got anything?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said that perfectly. We have an overabundance of infielders, and something needs to happen. I mean, obviously, with Gavin Lux going down, my thought was an IKF trade. That's exactly what I said to Bobby a little bit ago. That's exactly what my mind went to. But yeah, I mean,
IKF to the Dodgers. Give us
we go Vargas.
Yes.
So yeah, I saw somebody tweeted out Bobby Miller today, and I was like,
I'll take that. Sure.
I was like, yeah, that shit is never gonna happen. I can't for Bobby Miller, dude. Oh no, it was Peraza. It was Peraza for Bobby Miller, which like isn't as bad, but still no. Like it's a shot and shit. So
No,
that's funny. But yeah, I don't know. Cause are you worried? Well, hold on, actually. Who do you think is the starting oh my God, I cannot talk. Starting shortstop on opening day for the Yankees. Who do you think and who do you hope?
That's that's two separate questions. It is two separate questions. Who I hope it's Anthony Volpe. I think we all hope it's Anthony Volpe. I think it's going to be Oswald Peraza, because I think that they're going to want to give Volpe more time. I think that, you know how the Yankees are with their service time manipulation. I think Volpe's going to get some time in AAA early. And I think that, the most realistic outcome, what really ends up happening is you see guys like Volpe and guys like Austin Wells who end up getting that late season call up, kind of like Peraza and Cabrera did last year. Probably in August. So I don't expect to see those guys for a long time. My hope is that we see them immediately, because that would be so much fun. But I truly think it would be Peraza. I don't think that Boone will stick his balls out there anymore for IKF. Because I just think he did it way too much last year. And obviously we saw him, getting benched in the ALCS for Oswald Peraza, clearly the better defender at shortstop. And, he finally put his guns down. And so at this point, I think it probably will be Peraza. My hope is Volpe, though. That would be so goddamn fun. Yeah,
that's fair.
Exactly.
I don't think you could go back to IKF. Like that, I don't think that's even an option, just because of because that was the ALCS that he was benched. Peraza started. Yeah, I don't think you could go back to that unless IKF stupidly goes off and spring something crazy like that. I don't even know if you could still do that. But
right, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
See, and now this is something that I'm not against either. And as you mentioned earlier, Sam, I mean, I'm not against keeping IKF. I just don't want him in that starting role. That's my big thing, at least at shortstop. But there's a world where IKF has once won a Gold Glove at third base. Is there a chance that we see some IKF third base this year? How are you feeling about that?
No.
Okay.
No. I like DJ LeMahieu too much. I think that a healthy DJ LeMahieu is probably the most important thing that this team has. And I think that a healthy DJ LeMahieu is what they missed the most in the postseason last year. That's why I was I was so huge on them re-signing Andrew Benintendi, because he transformed into this complete contact bat that was hitting 330 in the first half. That is legit exactly what that team needed. And it's exactly what DJ LeMahieu is. He's your perfect leadoff guy. So I just think, I think the third base, it's got to either be, if you want to play the money, you play Josh Donaldson. If you want to play smart, you play DJ LeMahieu. And back to IKF, I just still think that there's still value with IKF. I think that IKF could work as a bench guy. I think that he could work as a pinch runner in a late game scenario. And again, I think he has decent bat to ball skills that would play in a pinch hitting role, but not an everyday role. I don't want to see that guy every day. Not a shot.
Yeah. Obviously we give him shit, but like he does bring some value to the team.
He does.
You can't deny that. Well, some Yankee fans will, but
yeah, I mean he's not like Joe Gallo bad, like he's not Joe Gallo bad, but like we got to pick on somebody. I guess that's why we make fun of IKF so much. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I know obviously Frankie Montas went down. We've talked about that before. We were talking about ship it before he even me and Kyle were saying a few weeks ago, before the surgery was announced, we wanted to send him to Japan and get Tanaka back. But I don't know if they would do that anymore.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I'd be down. I don't know how Moss's arm's holding up, but he'd probably be better than Montas and that shitty ass shoulder that he's got going on. So I would take it. Yeah, let's do it.
But
so yeah.
Oh yeah. No, go Kyle.
So obviously with Montas going down now, I feel like, in my personal opinion, I want to see Clark Schmidt in that fifth spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of where my mind's going with that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
No, 100%. So Clark Schmidt added a cutter, and Clark Schmidt's cutter is hot. I don't know. I know you guys saw the outing the other day. He threw 2 innings. He saw 6 batters. He struck out 5 of them. That cutter works. And it should be, Clark Schmidt. And one of my guys gave Domingo Germán Doming Zero. That's like his new nickname, with like the 0 at the end, because that's his new number. And I just think, it's got to reach a point where it can't be Domingo Germán, man. Like, you just got to look at a younger arm. And I think Clark impressed enough last year to the point of where you can now, at least try to give him that 5th spot. Obviously, they're still going to battle it out, and there's going to be a good competition between the two. But it should be Clark. 100% it should be Clark.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I do too. I love Clark Schmidt. Domingo did pitch well though. Was it to be one point last year? He had a stretch last year where he did pitch well.
He threw well against the Mets.
Yes,
yeah,
that's what it was.
You know what? He threw well against the Mets. And the funniest thing about that is I remember the morning of, I made an entire TikTok video, and I basically said, here are 5 things that you could do rather than watching Domingo Germán versus Max Scherzer. And that video went it did pretty good numbers. So I was like, oh, this is great. I'm like, yeah, the Yankees are gonna get shit on. So why is this fun? But the Yankees won a game. The Yankees won a game with Domingo Germán in a bump against Max Scherzer, and it was incredible. So yeah, he did have a nice stretch last year. I know he threw well against the Mets. And he also threw well against the Astros. I remember in that the second series that we played against them back half of the year, he threw well in that one start. So,
yeah, because we're saying too, with him wearing 0, it would have been perfect. We talked about, and I'm sure Yankee fans have talked about Volpe wearing 0, and of course he's like the second coming of Jeter and all that, wearing a single-digit number. It would have been cool to see Volpe do it, but now Germán, it doesn't look cool with Germán wearing 0.
No.
He kind of ruined it.
No.
It would have been cool if Volpe did it, but Germán just ruined it.
Hate it. But I like Volpe with 77, but it's for bias reasons. 77 was my football number growing up.
Okay.
So it's bias reasons. So I dig it, it's cool for me. Everybody else probably hates it, but I think it's cool. So
yeah. I don't know. He has to get a better number than that.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I don't know what were you saying? You said one the other day, Kyle. I forget.
Oh, I said I'd like to see him number 12.
You should get 12.
Yeah,
I think 12 is a good number.
Oh, who has number 12? I wonder.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Ship his ass off and just give Volpe the number, man. It's perfect. It works out so well. You get them off the roster. You don't even have to change the jersey size. They're probably the same height and everything. They can just switch lockers and just put a different name up there. That's all you got to do, man. It's that easy.
That's so funny.
Exactly. So as we were talking about the shortstop, there's one more position that we need to figure out a little bit. It's left field. Obviously, we did not make any moves to better that, but also we do have Oswaldo Cabrera, who came on the show last season, absolutely showed out. He brought such a spark to this team. The swagger, he brought it all. And I want to know where your head is at. Like, obviously Hicks can't be our solution. Cabrera could be used in a very utility type of way. He still can if he starts in left, but who is your left fielder opening day?
So there's a couple angles that you could attack this, right? I do like seeing Stanton in the outfield. I think that's really the best way that you could utilize that lineup. Realistically, is having Stanton in the outfield. I know that they've been talking about moving Judge out to left field and getting him some time in left field just to supplement that. And it's easier on Stanton's body because obviously the short portion of right field is way easier to defend than left field is. But I think that if you're going to run a conventional lineup, I think that it should be Cabrera's job to lose, essentially. I know at the top of the show, I mentioned, with Calhoun and with who was I talking about?
Rafael Ortega.
Yeah, Rafael Ortega. I know I mentioned those names, but I don't think that those are the solutions realistically. And obviously Aaron Hicks isn't either, because I think that, Mr. 30-30
I was just about to
5-5, like just isn't going to do it anymore. So realistically, I think it should be Cabrera's job to lose. And while I do like the fact that he is, he can play a variety of different positions, whether it be first, second, shortstop, third base. He can play he can play corner outfield. He can probably catch if we wanted him to. Realistically, man, like we have a guy that fills that role. We have DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu is healthy, and we don't need another body in the infield. We just really don't. We've been talking about this overabundance of infielders that we have, and the last thing that we need to do is add another one to the depth chart. So I think that realistically, right now, what they should do if they're going to DH Stanton, I think that they should play Cabrera in left field every day. I think that's legit, just how it should be. Regardless of the money. I really don't care. And I know that Brian Cashman's going to have his, pick of the lot with that one. And we'll probably see Aaron Hicks out there every single day. But obviously if it was us, up to us, the unbiased journalists that sit back and, kick every day, we would have Oswaldo Cabrera in left field every day. So, and I just think that, for him being a switch-handed guy that is just like perfectly built for Yankee Stadium, I just think he would work so well in that outfield. And he was great over the back half last year. The last 24 games of the season last year, he had like a 980 OPS. I saw that last night on Yes. I think that shit's insane. So yeah, I think, if you want to play Cabrera, if you want to DH Stanton every day, I think you play Cabrera in left field. If not, I think that you play Judge in left field. I think you play Stanton in right, and then you have, Bader in center, and you can do whatever at DH. Maybe you could trade for a bat. Who the hell knows? But yeah, I think that Cabrera should probably be the left fielder.
Yeah, I think so
sure.
too. And how he won over the fan base I know obviously that doesn't matter to Cashman and them, but how he won over the fan base last year, he instantly became a fan favorite. It was just so much fun to watch. It was awesome to see him kind of burst into the Yankee scene like that.
For sure.
I know we talked obviously Dominguez, Volpe, Peraza, the big names. Is there anyone else that you're kind of want to keep an eye on during spring training?
Yeah, I would watch Elijah Dunham. That's somebody that my guys over at FSY really like. He's a dude that he posted a 130 WRC plus last year. Only hits 250, but his ISO is crazy. I think he slugged 450. He's a guy that could fill a corner outfield spot. He's a guy that could probably slot into left field. I don't think he's projected to be up until next year, but I would watch out for Eli Dunham in the spring just because he'll get run with the team. And then once Austin Wells gets healthy, I really want to see what he can do. He's dealing with like a bruised rib thing right now, I think. But that realistically could be the catcher of the future, because with the, automatic strike zone kind of coming into play, the whole catching framing thing is really going to get chopped down. And while I love Jose Trevino so much and he's the best defensive catcher in baseball, his value severely decreases once there's an automatic strike zone, once he can't steal strikes anymore. So Austin Wells has an incredible amount of pop, and I think that he'll probably be the Yankees catcher of the future. So, once he gets healthy and ends up cracking a couple games, I would watch out for him as well.
Awesome picks. I like
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Of course, like I'd said, there's so many big names in the Yankees organization, but they have so many great prospects that kind of aren't being talked. They're just being overshadowed by Volpe, and Dominguez. But it's kind of crazy how much talent the Yankees have in the minors. It's kind of cool. It's really cool.
Yeah,
No, go.
yeah, it is for sure. And another guy who I'm really high on is Everson Pereira. Watching him a little bit over spring, I really like what he's bringing. Rafael Ortega, I really didn't hear much of him up until, today or yesterday, to be honest with you. I mean, it goes to show you exactly what you were saying, Bobby. I mean, the Yankees do have a good minor league system. Obviously, Spencer Jones is still very young. Don't expect too much out of him, but he's impressed me at the plate. Like, he does have strikeouts, but I mean, the way he's just patient at the bat with the bat, and his fielding. I mean, and he looks like Judge too. I mean, he's got the stature, he's got the swag of Judge. I mean, I like him a lot. So yeah, I mean, it builds off of this minor league system that is loaded, and that's not even with the international prospects.
Yeah. Was he drafted last year or was that the year before, Spencer Jones?
Last year.
Last
It
year.
was? Yeah.
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 Okay.
So this is he realistically just had rookie ball, and now he's into spring training. So I think it's really impressive. One other guy I do want to mention is Andres Chaparro, who absolutely pissed on a ball a couple of days ago. He's an absolute stud of a first baseman, and just like gives me like crazy Luke Voigt vibes. If you know me, you know how much I love Luke Voigt. But I would watch out for Chaparro as well. That's another guy that just hits tanks. So yeah, these guys are just so much fun right now. I'm having a blast watching the young dudes.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's great to have baseball back too. It's just when I turned on Yes and I heard the music the other day.
Oh
it's
man,
just
great.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Kyle, got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously we didn't get your take on the Carlos Rodon deal. I'm very interested to see where your head is at. Obviously, I have an expectation. I love this move. I think it's amazing. I just want to see where you're at.
Oh yeah. I was shocked. In all honesty, I was completely surprised. I never saw this coming, because this is a team that really just, and we beg for them to spend money, and we beg and we beg and we beg and we beg and we beg, and we finally got somebody. We ended up getting Carlos Rodon, which I think is just incredible. I mean, and when you look at the Carlos Rodon deal, one name that I like to throw in the hat is Luis Severino, right? So let's think back to 2018. Luis Severino was his team's ace, right? And that's perfectly okay. Luis Severino is probably an ace on 15 other MLB teams right now, like 1,000%. Yeah, today Luis Severino is his team's 4. It's because you are now able to throw out Garrett Cole, who granted had a down year last year, but still set the Yankees all-time single season strikeout record, which is incredible that nobody talks about that. I still think he's going to be great this year. Carlos Rodon, who personally I think will probably be better than Garrett Cole. I think I personally think that he's going to be better than Garrett Cole this year. And I think that he'll probably chase a goddamn Cy Young. That's how great I think he's going to be. The only concerning thing that I really have with Rodon is his fly ball rate for a stadium like Yankee Stadium, when the ball can really fly for a left-hander. That's the only thing that's really concerning for me, is that fly ball rate. But outside of that, I think he's going to be incredible. And then you got Nasty Nestor, who's probably going to carve again this year. And I don't think it's a fluke thing. Like Nestor is legit incredible. That rising fastball is so goddamn sexy. And he could go out and be an all-star again this year. And then you have Luis Severino who's a 4, and Clark Schmidt probably who's a 5, who's going to be absolutely disgusting. I think this is the best rotation of ball. And I've been saying that for, pretty much since the Rodon thing. I know that, little bros got their own little thing going on with the old guys, with the 43-year-olds. And that's fun. I really appreciate that out of them, really digging into the pockets for that money. But I think this is the best rotation of ball. And to be honest, I don't think it's really that close.
I love to hear you say that, especially the whole Rodon thing over Cole, man. I have been called every name in the book for saying that, and I stick by it, and I'm okay with it. Bobby, I mean, we have talked about this before, more personal than not on camera because of that reason.
Yeah, I don't fully. I
yeah.
think Garrett Cole is going to be a Cy Young finalist this year.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
No.
Wait, you think?
I think Garrett
Okay.
Cole is going to be a Cy Young finalist this year.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. And I don't hate
No?
I mean they're both going to be very obviously they're going to be elite. They're both going to be our aces, I think. Like Garrett Cole and Rodon.
Mhm.
I don't think Rodon's going to overtake Cole. I just don't see it. But I'm not taking anything away from Rodon. I just think that Cole's still going to be our ace.
Yeah, but like we could sit here and argue about this all day.
But it's
right?
It's a great
good
problem to have. Yeah, exactly.
But they're both going to be top 10 pitchers in ball, guys.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
No, yeah, it's great.
You know, so it's like it's the best argument that you could have.
Yeah, it's
the
great.
best argument that you could have ever. Like it's sick.
Yeah.
You know,
like no, he's gonna finish top 5, not top 3.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's awesome. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
And then I'm really hoping to see Sevy. That's my main thing this year. I think with the road, obviously we could talk about Rodon, Cole, Nestor, but if Sevy's healthy and he goes back to the Severino that we know, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, and I think he was huge for that team last year, you know, being a 3. And now again, like I said, you'll be seeing him in a 4 spot. So it's going to be even more important because he's going to be the 4 guy compared to being a 3. So and he's in a contract year, so you know he's going to want to stay healthy and he's going to want to make his bag. So while I don't know what his future is, you know, outside of 2023 with the New York Yankees, I know that he's going to go out there and ball for sure. I think that he's going to be great.
Exactly. With that contract year, he has to. He has no choice.
Absolutely.
Stay healthy. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask about who you had to get Cole over or Rodon. Kyle, got any other questions before you wrap that up? Any other topics that you wanted to talk about?
I think regarding this team, I don't think there's too much more to talk about. Obviously, there's not much going on, just spring training, watching the young guys go.
Yeah, and we keep beating the infield talk.
Yeah, that's all right. It's
I mean, you kind of have to though.
No, I know.
Have to though at this point, right?
I know.
I mean, and we're going to be talking about it more with the spring training. I mean, if Oswald Peraza starts balling out even more, if Volpe making a conversation, I mean, we're going to have to talk about it because something's going to have to give.
I know. And then Donaldson's going to return to form, like Brian Cashman said. No, I don't know.
Yeah, he's going to be incredible. He's going to hit 40 bombs this year.
Imagine that would be hysterical. If he comes out and hits,
it would be hysterical if he was worth his contract. Yeah.
No, but
that would be funny to me.
If he, after everything that he went through last year with Yankee fans talking so much shit about him, and then he was healthy and he actually hit well this year, like I don't.
Dude, honestly, if he can produce half of what he did in Minnesota, I would be happy.
Yeah. No,
at this point.
I think you're spot on. I just think that I think he's finished, and I was so excited for him. I was so excited for him. He had a 125 WRC plus in 2021, guys. He had a higher WRC plus in 2021 than Manny Machado and Nolan Arenado did. Both of them did, which is unreal. And then he comes over here and just falls off a cliff. And my favorite stat about Josh Donaldson is we've been pegging Josh Donaldson for the last year as this DRS king. He had 7 DRS at third base last year, played like 900 innings. Yeah, DJ LeMahieu played 300 innings at third base last year. He had the same goddamn DRS. Like, it's just not even comparable, the value of these two players, man. So I mean, you got to send him to the sun, but nobody's going to want that money. So it is what it is.
No chance. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've talked about it before, but like, I remember exactly where I was when that trade went down, and I was like, what is that? I thought it was just so random when I got that notification. That was so bizarre.
I was excited. I was really excited.
So I was like, wait, Josh Donaldson, a Yankee? Because I love Josh. I know I shouldn't have, but I liked him on the Blue Jays and stuff. But he was so much fun to watch. Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, he was so much fun. Incredible. But I would have never pictured him on the Yankees, and then now It sucked that.
He just fell off a damn cliff. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but you know
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah. So to wrap up, we want to ask you a few fun Yankee related questions.
Okay.
First one.
You got him, Bobby, or
we'll go back and forth.
All right, let's
I'll ask the first one.
All right, go ahead.
What current Yankees will be Hall of Famers?
Aaron Judge, I think, just because he's at this point the single season home run leader. This is a hard question. Giancarlo Stanton, I think he'll reach 500.
Mhm.
I want to say Garrett Cole so bad.
Say it.
I want to say Garrett Cole so bad, but like I just like don't. Okay, I'll say Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole. I don't
Who's
think
the other
Rodon.
one that we said?
I don't think Rodon.
I think we touched on Rizzo, but we decided on
no
on that one.
Yeah, no.
Chapman.
Rizzo.
Chapman was our.
It was like a discussion, but
Rizzo won't be a Hall of Famer. I think it'll be close, but I don't think he'll be a Hall of Famer. It's just like the way voting is now. It's it's so tight, and if, for example, if this was like the Football Hall of Fame, right? Like if it were like those parameters, then like Anthony Rizzo would be like a no doubt Hall of Famer, right? But it's just the Baseball Hall of Fame is like completely different as far as its voting and stuff like that. So I don't think Anthony Rizzo will be a Hall of Famer. So I'll go Judge Stanton. I'll throw Cole.
I really do think Cole. I really do think Cole, because I think he could get to 3,000.
Yeah, no, I do too.
And I think if you get there, that's going to be that's the magic.
Yeah,
number,
pretty much.
But,
and that's also the case with Stan too. If he reaches that 500, I think he's good.
Yeah, and I think that's very doable for him, especially just being in that DH role, for the rest of his career essentially. So I think he should 100% get there.
All right, cool. Kyle got the next one.
Yeah. So, if you could travel back and witness any Yankee game in person, what would it be?
Ooh, you know what? God damn, that is such a hard question.
We just have I've said this last. We just have so many good memories as this franchise.
But it's not even a game that I would want to go to. That is not even like I don't want to think about games that like I watched. I want to think about games that like I like didn't experience. There's a couple I think the Jeter flip at the Coliseum I think is like so sick. And like to see that live would be incredible, and I feel like I would be just like a drunk mess among like the A's fans, like just going absolutely ballistic. I would want to see Maris at 61 because I think that chase was crazy. And then I think that not any game specifically, but I would want to go back and see Ruth and Gehrig. Like, I think that would be like the coolest shit ever. And then if we're talking about like current tense, like obviously like you want to go see Aaron Judge at 62nd. Obviously you want to go back to the Hideki Matsui game in 2009. Like you want to go see those games. So there's like a couple, like, so like we're very spoiled as Yankees fans that we get to select, from this crop of incredible games. So that's just a couple answers for you there.
Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Pick one Yankee, past or present, hang out with, have a drink with.
Oh, Luke Voit.
I love it.
I'm hanging out with it, but it's him or Stanton. Those are my two favorites. So I just think Stanton's like the coolest fucking guy ever. Same thing with Voit. I think they're like both sick. And if I wanted to go out on the town and get absolutely blasted, I would want to hang out with Mickey Mantle.
Yes,
because that dude was a freak. So I would definitely, that's 100% on my list is hanging out with Mickey Mantle. I think that would be sick.
Yeah, that would be something.
Yeah,
that'd be one hell of a night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, Kyle, you go.
Yeah, so this is a fun one. This is personally my favorite question out of this bunch. Pick one former Yankee, anybody, to add to the 2023 roster.
Ooh, you got to think about needs. So when you think about needs, you think outfield. I think left field. I think left field or center field. Son of a bitch. I
hope he
want
says
Bernie
my
Williams.
If
Oh,
I
that-
want Bernie Williams.
Yeah.
I want Bernie Williams. Like,
I
give
love
me
it.
Bernie Williams. Like, put him in left field. I think that's like done deal. Either him or Matsui. I think Matsui would also fit
Perfect.
perfectly
There we go.
like
That-
on
that's
today's
a-
roster. You know, I think he would be sick. Yeah,
That's exactly
Yeah.
what we had said. Yeah, that's perfect.
that's awesome.
Love
All right. I mean, this might be, I don't know. Do you have a favorite Yankee of all time?
Yes. Jeter, obviously. And then I grew up. I had the same birthday as Mickey Mantle. So I like
Sweet.
kind of like grew up like obsessing with Mickey Mantle, and just like loving everything about him and what he did as a player. I grew up watching Jeter. I love Stanton. I love Voit. And I'm a big Cole guy. I do really like Eric Cole. So, and I love Aaron Judge, but like, it's not like
It's cliche.
that's what I'm saying. It's very cliche for your favorite player to be Aaron Judge, So
And that's probably that last one is basically that same
Yeah.
question, right?
It's the same
And-
one. Yeah.
Yeah. If you could meet any Yankee in history, who would it be?
Yeah,
Have a
pretty
conversation
much.
with. Yeah.
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 same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Got
Yeah.
it.
That pretty much wraps it up. That's about it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
dude.
It's great being
Yeah.
here. Thank you, fellas, for having me on. I had a great time. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
been
it was
great,
awesome.
Sam.
Yeah, we'll talk Yankees whenever. We'll have you back on whenever.
Absolutely.
Talk
I'm in.
during the season.
Let's do it.
All right. Sounds cool. Thank you.
All right. See ya.